your business relationship with them. The fact is clear. The fact is clear. You see, with Larry Timmy, one of his book, the Incorruptible Judge, says something. He said, when the leadership is corrupt, what happened to the body politics? It's rotten and it has collapsed.
Was written by Professor Olagoke.
Yes, Olagoke. Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make in essence is, yes, it's no longer news that Nigeria as a nation and as a people, we are corrupt. Even the yet unborn child now is already corrupt. There's no doubt about that. He's already corrupt. You understand what I'm saying?
Because the
issue, we should no longer belabor this section or this area of the society is corrupt. How do we get out of this mess? And that's the point. And I strongly feel that one agency, for instance, you said maybe a policeman arrests you, FRSC arrests you, and you try to bribe them, they take.
I'm giving instance.
Yes, instance.
Arrest me.
Yes.
I'm giving instance.
If they arrest you, peradventure maybe your papers is not complete, okay, and against all inducement to get out of that, they say no way, you have to face the law, and you face the law, and you know that you are being punished for what you did, consciously or unconsciously. You understand what I'm saying? Next time you will do it right. Okay? We still have very few police. Very few. It might not be 2% or 3%. That if they catch you or you do anything wrong, in fact, giving them naira or whatever, it's an insult. They will not take it. We still have in the police force. I've been privileged to have a contact with some of them like that. Oh, you understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying in essence is that used to be the trend. That used to be the corporate or institutional culture where you don't talk about bribe. Once you are brought, they will look at your case and it will be treated on that merit. But the stage we are now, looking at E.F.C.C with what they are doing and what they have done so far, how you will recollect when Ibori left office, he was on a shootout with E.F.C.C, personnel in his own town there before the guy escaped outside this country and later came back. It's as bad as that. You understand what I'm saying? So if the I.C.P.C, E.F.C.C is allowed independently without, government, involving and all this and that, and they allow them to do what they ought to do, my brother, everybody will sit up.
How they do it well is what we are talking about. The whistleblower. I want us to address it. Security and awareness is so vital. That is where a synergy could be created between the security agencies and members of the public. Once you know that, this is how to do this is how to go about this, when you are in possession of an information that is so essential, how do you do it? What do you do? Where do you run to? And you see, the moment we begin to do that, and then the structure is so important. You see, it has to be from community to the national level, so everybody will be involved. At the end of the day, you see yourself as a part of the police, of the policing arrangement.
That is what I'm saying about this issue of whistleblowing, because that concerns the media sector for which I work. What I notice about the attitude of people in government, especially in Nigeria and in most developing countries, politicians, their relationship with being exposed by deep-throat individuals whom we call whistleblowers. Their attitude about it is that if you are caught, if you are discovered to be the source of that information, you may lose your life in the process. You may be maimed. And we never can explain the whole circumstance of how the Legiwa died. But there was that suspicion that the whistleblowing element was a major component of why he was passed in the same country. Now, the issue of Boko Haram, which is not related to what we are discussing here, people sense this. Long before this administration swore to oath to protect the law and the constitution of the land. And once such things were passed to us, we didn't waste time in saying that, look, Jonathan, some group is somewhere that is hell-bent on defining you for the next 4 years as ineffective and incapable of providing credible governance in this country. What did they do when they saw that? They sounded dismissive. When we saw Okuliri, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in Chicago at the peak of the fuel subsidy crisis, we took her up. Why is it that when you receive credible intelligence like that from the media, of course you don't even pay journalists to do what they do, but they are the ultimate protector of the freedom of the people and our nationhood, our sovereignty. you look at them as if they are inconsequential. But when you see Larry King in America, you that doesn't celebrate your journalist in Nigeria, you want to even lick his boot with your tongue. You hero worship them. You fall flat for these people. How do you treat your institutions at home? The media is representative of one such institution that our leaders dismiss, just with a mere wave of hand like that. And that is why the security of this country, the question of corruption, fraud, and everything has become something that is germane to our very survival.
Because we place too much reliance on the security agencies.
Mr. Abidoye, if I may ask this question, we'll be talking about whistleblowing, informing the police. How do you reconcile whistleblowing and the Official Secret Act? How do you reconcile the two? If you work in the ministry, for example, can you leak an official secret even when you know monies are being embezzled? Is it possible?
Well, as a matter of fact, there's ethical standard in maybe the civil service that you are expected not to leak any official information and all that. You have to protect at all times. In fact, if you are found doing that, aside from summarily dismissal, you are to be tried in the law court. That's sabotage. That is that.
Please, let me just cut.
But if you leak it,
you see, public officers protection
national security,
there is a rider to it. That even when a public officer is acting in the course of his duty, if what he was doing is contrary to law and ethics, and national security, and he injures another person thereby, he cannot be protected. So, to an extent, if somebody is committing fraud against the revenue of the state,
he must be exposed.
And he is exposed. It's not a leaking of official secret.
No, that's
you do it and a whistleblower is not even supposed to be known in the first place.
Yeah.
It's anonymous.
Yeah, but
so the question of official secret does not arise. It's just blowing it. A whistleblower. That is it.
The value system has been eroded. In the olden days, if you have some money that are questionable, the people will ask you, your parents will ask you, your siblings will ask you.
In fact, you will not be comfortable in society.
Of course. But these days,
nowadays, people celebrate you, not minding how you get the money and all this and all that.
The value system.
Yes.
If
society has important
role to play. For example,
you
get to a certain position in government, your people will come with different requests. If you are not meeting it, they want you to steal.
Especially when you are in government.
It is what they are expecting. Let's come back to E.F.C.C and I.C.P.C now. Do you think, maybe I should ask the barrister this question. Do you think the judiciary has not contributed much to the failure of the E.F.C.C and I.C.P.C?
I don't think so.
Because most of their cases brought to the court are thrown out on technical grounds.
Yes.
Instead of the merits of the case.
Yes, I will also talk about the society. Once again, our laws are so obsolete. You see, the rules of court allow tardiness. You see, and then technicality has come to play such an important role that if you don't follow the rules, it is the law. If you don't follow it, there is no way you can have forge ahead. So it is the law. We expect that our laws should be, most of the laws governing corruption should be repealed. And it is not as if the courts are collaborating with corrupt elements.
Because very good, solid cases have been thrown out.
Yes, if they are not well prosecuted, there is nothing to
it is obvious that the court pandered. They colluded with the lawbreaker in the case of Ibori in Delta State. And like Professor Shoyinka said in Asaba 2 weeks ago at the South Economic Summit, I want to align myself with his position. Is that judge still sitting? Is he still making pronouncements? Is he still ruling? Is he still jailing people in this country today? His credibility is in doubt. It's no longer there.
Out of
he has
12,
no integrity.
There must be
Such
one
people must be purged.
It is not that every judge in the judiciary is above board. So when you see a judge coming out with pronouncement, you must look at the circumstances surrounding it. You see, we are talking of our society, a situation whereby people do anything at all costs, especially the politicians, to circumvent the law. You cannot get the best out of the best.
But I want to disagree too.
Barrister, as much as I believe
politicians are circumventing,
may be a part of it, but the lawyers that E.F.C.C, are hiring to handle these cases, why is that they can't prepare a good, a good brief to the court?
They prepare good briefs.
So
what is the question is, I don't have the facts yet,
Yeah.
but I'm working on that. But then I have myself, which I must give good expression here. Like the judge in this Ibori case, on all 170 counts. And they brought the nation to ridicule.
How many counts
international
did they give?
Just 13.
By absolving Ibori.
13 is not 170, it's not
170.
It's not 200.
Okay.
Even if it's just 10, let's make it concrete enough with facts.
Let's look at the lighter side of things. Some people have suggested the E.F.C.C and I.C.P.C should be handed over to the British police. After all, it was them
That is a
No.
ridiculous
That to me
we should now willingly submit our sovereignty to Britain again.
That to me is an insult to the psyche of the nation.
Okay, then.
So that does not arise at all. We have not gotten up to that level.
Okay.
All right, yes.
But if criminals escape from Nigeria, if they get to London or
Of course,
America,
they face the law of the land.
Meant to face the music,
Yes, so be it.
Right.
But we still have as much as corrupt, as criticized, as condemned, as even the judiciary is now, we still have few judges. We have few lawyers that are good. We have few good people in this country. All our else are rotting, we still have very good Nigerians who anytime, any day will do things right. The point I'm making in essence is the judiciary should wake up. We have seen they have somersaulted. Up till now, there's a still matter involving, what's it called, the former president of a court of appeal, Salami, and the chief justice or whatever, another kind of something. A lot of allegation and counter allegation and other. Even the chief justice of the federation was saying it day before yesterday that there are some bad egg in the judiciary. And that they will do all they can to feed them out. There are a lot of corrupt judges in this country.
You understand
what I'm saying?
He was more of a politician than a judge.
Okay.
Yes, this is not America where you can be a Republican or a Democrat. So anyway, you are either a judge of the Federal Republic of Nigeria or nothing.
But as far as the issue of E.F.C.C, I.C.P.C matter that we are looking at is concerned, my own recommendation of all of this is that, look, for someone to be saying, no, what they are spending on them is much and all this and all, I disagree, absolutely.
Okay.
When you look at the quantum of corruption that is going, the money that is done, yes. Okay, so my submission is the two agencies, because I've been to the two agencies. Yeah. Okay, their roles interwove somehow. They should be merged for efficiency. They should be well funded. Well, you understand what I'm saying? They should be protected. And they should be given, a mandate that if they are found wanting for whatever reason, because even the chairman of E.F.C.C said recently, Lamode, that there is corruption within the system. I think they have started.
Let there be awareness of the public.
And
let there be awareness.
Let the people also stand up and start defending their rights.
Johnson, let's be rounding up. Well, viewers, you've heard my guest on tonight's show. They've discussed front and back, and they've told you their recommendations. That the E.F.C.C and I.C.P.C could be merged, but not scrapped. And it should be well funded. And according to my lawyer, he says there should be more awareness about corruption and what to do to tackle it. Before I finally round up, let me start to thank my guests now. Barrister Olatoyegun.
Thank you, the moderator, and good night, viewers.
Mr. Oladimeji Abitogun, thanks for coming on the show.
It's been my pleasure, and please, wherever we find ourselves as Nigerians, we must represent the country and ourselves very well.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Mr. Olu Abidoye.
Well, to restore the lost glory of this country is a collective effort of you and I. I look forward to a country called Nigeria where decency, where decorum, and where dignity will be restored.
Are you having a dream now? Okay, Mr. Kolawole Johnson, thank you for coming on the show.
I don't have a big drama.
Okay.
But this is it. The people should start asking their leaders questions.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. Until next week when we bring another very hot topic on this show, take care of yourself, don't get into trouble, and do everything right. I shall be back.